everyone, and welcome to our community. I am your host, Erica Fernandez, and our guest for today on Talk the Walk is Mr. Sunil Sharma. He is the founder and CEO of SILVERON. He is a forward looking industrialist and environmentalist. He has done pioneering work in the field of rainwater harvesting. His singular goal is to conserve water for our nation's future. Now, before we hear all about his amazing innovation, hi Sunil, can you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Thank you for inviting me, Erika. And to be very precise, I was born and brought up in the desert state of Rajasthan. The city is Jaipur. And my schooling was in St. Xavier's, Jaipur. And then I did my graduation from Jodhpur University. Thereafter, I did my MBA from Lucknow University. 1979, I passed out from the university. And then I started a couple of my own industries. I'm into manufacturing of electronic equipment. I'm into manufacturing of very specialized chemicals required by the dairy industry. This is, I think, enough about me.
Okay. So, Sunil, can you explain exactly what is rainwater harvesting?
See, basically, rainwater harvesting, to be very precise in one sentence, is collecting and conserving rainwater for later use. I'll add on some little things which are already there. See, the creator of this earth, if you look at the globe, you have more water than the land.
Yeah.
So he filled it with water. Then he created a monsoon cycle where in summertime, the water was evaporating, the clouds were forming, then the clouds were coming on the land and they were precipitated. And on the plains, it was falling as droplets of water. We call it rain to fill the water bodies, the lakes and the ponds. And on the higher altitude hills, mountains, it was falling in the frozen form as snow. And then the snow was melting and then the rivers were forming, and this he created. The best part is that he gave us force of gravity where everything is being pulled to the center of the earth. And another very good thing is that he gave us the soil which had the capacity to take in water and hold it.
Yeah.
So that we can make wells, and so this precisely is what is rainwater harvesting.
Okay.
And holding water on the surface is a small thing. So I am more focused on groundwater recharge.
Okay. So, why has it become so important, to conserve water? Like, why is rainwater harvesting become so important in the recent times?
See, the population has increased manifold. Accordingly, we need more infrastructure. We need more houses. We need more roads. So the infrastructure development has also increased. Earlier on, see, this process has been going on for millions of years. The rainwater is coming, it is being recharged into the ground, it is falling as glaciers, forming glaciers, everything has been going on. But now, as the population increased, the demand for water increased. And infrastructure development not only increased demand for water, it also reduced the surfaces which were available for water to naturally percolate. And as a result of the roads and all these construction or concretization, we have created more opportunity for the rainwater falling to run off.
Okay.
So it has become more and more relevant and more important that we create structures by which we can guide that rainwater to the groundwater aquifers. See, what has happened, our demand for water has increased, the technology has gone up, so we have created machines which can extract a lot of water in a very short time. The recharge we have reduced. So the balance has gone down. It's like you deposit less money in your bank and you withdraw more, you surely will get a zero balance report card one day. So this is what is happening. So before that stage comes, it is important that artificially we provide opportunity for the rainwater to percolate down and fill the groundwater aquifers from where all our tube wells are drawing water. That it is becoming more and more important as per the present situation. That is the need for rainwater harvesting.
Okay. Why did you pick up, this certain issue? Like what did you observe?
See, to be very honest, water has been a subject very passionate. I'm very passionate about water to the extent that national and international travels, whichever I plan, the first thing I look at is the opportunity for me to see water there, the management techniques which they use for water. And this has taken me to places like Alaska, where I've seen how the glaciers have receded and what impact global warming has had. And I was standing on glaciers wearing sandals and t-shirt. And they have markings that till 2002, the glacier was till this highway. Then in 2007, it reached this point. And then 2012, it is here. So you have to walk around 5 kilometers to see the glacier, which earlier was. Then I went to see the water conservation tanks, water collection tanks in historical homes and the fort. I traveled to Puerto Rico, and I love water, and I probably in most of the oceans of on this globe, I have even touched the water or swam in them. So that is why I was attracted towards water, and it has been decades now since I've been experimenting with soil and water relationship. And like every other person, I also had. See, water is a miracle. It is magic. We consider it as something absolutely common and absolutely, we don't even pay attention to it. But it is a liquid which is tasteless, which is colorless, which is smellless. But nothing can survive. No plant, no animal, no human being without water.
Yes, very true.
It is such a unique thing that most things expand when you heat them. Water expands when you freeze it. That is why the ice cubes float on the surface. And the creator, I again thank him again and again. He created this system, this unique, because in freezing climate, if you have a pond, the top layer, the ice formation happens on the surface and it floats on the surface. So kind of it works like a blanket. And the aquatic life underneath survives. The plants, the fishes, the animals. And best part is at 4 degrees centigrade, water is the heaviest. So that temperature water keeps going down. So this is actually magic. If you look at it, it is absolutely. You can't even express it in words. You have to have a passionate mind, emotional mind, and you can understand this. So I opted for water. Then like every other person, my perceptions are also the same. That every time you throw water on some soil, it is absorbed by the soil. So I said, okay, this is. And today also, most people think that you dig a hole and put water, and this is rainwater harvest. But then later on, I realized that water and soil, they might appear to be very friendly with each other. But soil creates resistance for water to get in.
Oh, okay.
If you have potted plants in your house, you water those plants, and then after a few days, you need the garden tools to break the film which is formed on the farmer. After for the next crop, he has to till the land. What he does is he breaks that film which was formed due to watering of the previous crop. And then otherwise he will not be able to water the new crop. So that is the association. So I realized that most rainwater, 80 to 90% of the rainwater harvesting structures, sooner or later, they start holding water. And if they start holding water, that means the entire purpose is defeated. Holding water means it is not absorbing.
Yeah.
If it is not absorbing, it is not going to add on to the groundwater table. So it is a futile exercise. Now the question was that our water table continues to decline every year. And we are reaching the zero water balance levels.
Yes.
And the structures which are working are not taking water. So the first thing which came to my mind was that I must find a solution. So basically, this is no innovation of some robot or some blood pressure measuring instrument. It is an innovation in terms of design.
Yes.
Which in my mind is so important, because this design will lead to the chances of water table improving or declining at a slower speed or remaining where it is.
Yeah.
So that is why I started working on this. And first thing which came to my mind was I must study and understand why the systems are not working. So that, because that would give me an idea why the water is not being recharged. First thing which I observed, you will understand it even if you are I will share the screen now. What people were doing was they were digging a hole and then they were putting a pipe with slots here at the last part of that pipe. So in order to put in a pipe which has got a 8-inch diameter, you need to have a borehole which is 10 to 12 inches in diameter. Then only you can put the pipe. So they put this pipe, presuming that the water is going to come out of these holes and the soil will absorb it here. So when they forgot the basic principles of natural sciences, that when you put in water, the water is going to come out of these holes, but it will not be recharged. Instead, a water column will rise from outside the pipe and silt will get suspended in these sections. And thereafter, the entire column inside and outside will recede. And the silt will continue depositing. And this process will keep on happening till all the slots are blocked by silt. And thereafter, this system this pipe will become a closed pipe and it will hold water. And what people thereafter do is they bring in a compressor, they throw in air from here, that air opens these slots. What we are doing is we are breaking the problem within a system into pieces and letting the problem remain there so that it can again reassemble and again become a problem.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So could you have an idea what I was trying to say?
Yes, I did.
So I said, okay, I am going to remove this pipe from my system.
Okay.
So the design came up. I was simultaneously building that new conceptual design also. So we removed the pipe, the slotted pipe, and we started recharging directly into the into your soil. That I will explain to you.
Okay.
And then I will again share the screen with you. And this is imagination, okay? See, this is the soil. This is the top layer. Then you have another layer of clay, maybe poor porosity. It has medium. Then this has got sand. This absorbs more water. This is only just to explain. So in case if we make a pond which is in this depth and this size,
Hmm.
the strata remains the same.
Okay.
And if we dig like this, then we will encounter different type of strata. Some absorb more water, some absorb less water. So then we concluded that in rainwater harvesting, the dia is not important. It is the depth which is important. And once we came down to this, then there are methods by which the geophysical is done. You can have an idea of the kind of soil strata which you are going to get. And then we decided on till what depth are we going, what is the water table, what is the, and that video which I have not been able to share with you, I'll share it later on. That shows how we recharge from. Then there is another thing, that is atmospheric pressure. See, most rainwater harvesters have not even considered the importance of atmospheric pressure in the process of rainwater harvesting or recharging. It is like you fill in water in a tube or a pipette, and then with your thumb you cut the atmospheric pressure off. The column stands. You remove your hand, the water flows out. So for that purpose, I put in a small air vent pipe.
Okay.
Now that air vent pipe, like my bore size is going to the depth of say 300 feet. That it's a 2-inch. Only a 2-inch air vent pipe, which also goes down 300 feet. And I will again share the screen with you, and this is going to give you some idea of what exactly. See, this is the structure looking like. Okay. And this is the air vent pipe. Okay.
Yes.
Now, when we are recharging water, our design, see those slots you could see were here somewhere. Okay. In our design, we are giving water an opportunity to recharge, because it is coming not in the pipe but outside the pipe. It can go anywhere it wants to. We are not guiding the water. We are not interfering with the natural choice of the soil and the water, and we are letting the water be absorbed by the soil. So from root zone, we have started recharging. This is, and the atmospheric pressure is provided through this pipe. Now, like a human being, this also has a capacity to take water.
Okay.
But never stops working. Initially, when in the first shower, it takes say 10,000 liters of water per hour. Then there is saturation in the soil here. So it finally stops at say 6,000 liters per hour. So 6,000 liters per hour, it will continue taking every hour for as long as you give it the water. The problem arises when you give it 25,000 liters of water. 6,000 it is going to take. Where does it hold the rest of it? So then we again made a little modification, and we came with this. This is the actual site picture. This is one shaft. This is another shaft. So 6,000 liters per hour, this is taking. You are giving it, say, 25,000. So this is an interconnected pipe. You can see here. This is the Nimrana plant of Hiromoto, where along the boundary wall, we have got these structures and interconnected structures. So the balance amount of water passes here. This continues taking 6. The balance comes here, then it starts taking. And then it reaches its constant intake level, then it passes on to the next one. So every drop of water which is being fed, and there is no slope between these pipes. So every drop of water which comes in either moves from here to here or here to here, but it remains in the system and it is recharged ultimately. It is not being thrown outside. So the interconnected shafts has also been a very successful experiment which we did.
Awesome.
And then we kept on. See, basically what people do is, most of the rainwater harvesters, and why the systems fail, is they focus so much on before recharge exercise. The rainwater which is coming, first they develop systems of cleaning it. They use wire mesh filters and they make desilting tanks. And you think silt is going to settle down in monsoon? There is so much of turbulence, and silt is the lightest particle of soil. You need to leave that water for 5-7 days. Then only you put it in a glass. Then in 2 days you will find so much of clean water, and then gradually that will keep. So nothing happens. So if they put a wire mesh, and in case if it filters, what is going to happen? The mesh will get choked. It will not let anything pass through. And in case if it lets things pass through, that means it is not filtering. They are only adding cost to the system. Otherwise, so my shaft is say 400 feet deep, and when I go down 400 feet, and then I pack it with aggregate, as you saw in those
the picture
drawings. How do I clean it from that depth? And the diameter is only 18 inches. And you can't put your hand in that. So we needed a method by which we should be able to clean it. And for that we use the air vent pipe as a weapon. See, basically what we do is we bring in a water tanker only once in a year. Pre-monsoon, before the rains. We bring in a water tanker and we connect the pipe of that tanker to the air vent pipe. And normally we are not recharging through it. When we connect it, the water through the pipe, it goes into the structure. And then suppose the structure is taking 6,000 liters per hour. We are putting in 10,000 liters per hour. What is going to happen? It starts filling. And then overflowing. Silt being the lightest particle of soil, the ease with which it entered once in the previous monsoon, with the same ease, it floats and it comes out and falls out of the structure. So once pre-monsoon, it is cleaned. I'll show you. I'll send you the videos, and this is known as backwash, and you will find the ease with which we can clean it is the most important silent feature of this structure, and this is what keeps the structure. See, I do not know for what is the life of the structure. where people are not able to make sustainable structures which survive even for 2 monsoons. I have my structures which are standing for up to 20 years now.
Nice.
And my structures go up for a lot of audit in all these corporates like Coca-Cola, and who have given us an opportunity or has approved our and they give us repeat requests for making more when they come up with new plans. So this, and we have some 3,000 structures with not a single failure. This itself speaks of the competence of the design.
Yes, true.
So we have tried to make it as simple as possible. We have tried to make it as natural as possible. We are not dictating to Mother Earth. We are not dictating to water. We are, and I have removed all those deterrents, which were actually interfering. And soil is very selective. You can't give it anything and it is not going to take it. Like in behind the kitchen, most people make small pits in which the kitchen waste and the dishwasher soap water and other things come. After some time, they have to fill it back and make a new one. It is not that you will keep giving it and the soil is going to keep taking it.
True.
What more?
So, can you share an interesting, incident or story while you were developing, your product?
See, when you're doing some experimentation, everything which you find or everything which you do is in itself an episode. I'll tell you. First, I'll share something with you.
Okay.
So that you understand, and then I'll tell you.
Okay.
Can you see this?
Yes.
This is a very standard procedure for rainwater harvesting, which people adopt.
Okay.
So we also experimented with these. Imagining that the water fills into this hollow structure, and then through these holes, the water goes in the soil and the soil absorbs it. We did it, and after some time, it was not taking water. So I asked my plumber that you just go and see what is wrong with this. So I was standing far away. The plumber walked up to this, and it was just about 5 feet away when suddenly he went 4 feet inside the ground as he was walking.
Oh my God.
So what actually had happened or happens in this situation is that the water passes through these holes, comes in contact with the soil, dissolves the soil and brings it inside. So on the surface, the soil looks intact. But underneath, it becomes hollow because the entire soil has come into the ring. So that was the day I decided I will not make any hollow structures.
Yeah, that is so dangerous.
No, it is not that dangerous because you don't put rings. Maximum is you can only put it till 30 feet.
Okay. Okay.
So that is not the case. And but then you have seen that we put aggregate in our. You can stand on it. You can dance on our structures. You can drive a motorcycle. I mean, it is absolutely safe, and we don't make hollow structures at all. Another very interesting thing I'll tell you is it's a lovely picture which I will share with you. Can you see it?
Yes.
This is a village where they had a depression area, which is more, water comes during monsoon. Water comes and flows here, fills this, and thereafter it moves into the village and brings about flood in the houses. So because during monsoon there is no other way for you to check that flow of water which is coming from higher levels.
Hmm.
So we said we will recharge water here. We will put this water in your ground. It is going to help your tube well. So don't. So they said no, sir. We want surface water also. We want our buffaloes will also drink water, and we want water to be seen also.
Hmm.
This is a desert state, but they did not listen to me. I said 45 degrees, 48 degrees is the temperature in summers. What surface water are you talking about? It will all evaporate. But they did not agree. So this is one structure, if you can see it. This is another structure. If my cursor is...
Yes, I can see.
So we made structures and we said, ask them how much water you want. They said 5 feet at least. So we made structures such that the top level, once this pond fills and the water is attempting to go into the village, then it starts getting into the structure. So the groundwater is being recharged and simultaneously the groundwater, the flooding is also checked. In the villages, and this has been, we have done it in so many ponds now that it has become a success story.
Awesome.
So there are so many things to talk about, and it's going to take a very long time if you want to hear all those stories.
Okay, so can you tell us one learning that you have acquired, during innovating this design?
So that learning will go a long way with you also, and that learning will go a long way with rainwater harvesters also. Okay. And that learning is very simple, that the laws which the nature has formulated, they are the ultimate laws. The natural laws are ultimate and they need no intervention from anybody. And if you do something in accordance to the natural laws, nature will come and stand behind you and ensure that you succeed. And if you work against the principles of the natural laws, it is the sure recipe for failures. If you look at the environment, and why I say this is going to be, this is not applicable, this is applicable in practically all aspects of life. If you have a problem, look at the nature. Even a bird makes a nest, lays the egg, hatches, then it goes, eats its food, arranges food for the little ones, brings them, puts it in the beak.
Yes.
Takes so much care. And after some time, with the same beak, it pushes off those little ones. That now you go, learn to fly, protect yourself, look for your food. We kind of try to keep everything, whether it is our money. A tiger can hunt 50 antelopes every day. But he makes one kill. Tiger eats, tigress eats, cubs eat, keeps sitting. Thereafter, if the prey goes in front of him, it doesn't attack.
Yeah.
Because he is not a hoarder.
Yeah.
We are such hoarders, we want to keep everything, even the empty bottle of thumbs up, you want to keep and put oil in for it.
Yeah.
So nature actually is, if you look at the environment, see, it is fabulous. Your sun is rising in the morning, setting in the evening, the winds are blowing, the monsoon clouds are being formed, it is raining, it is snowing, you have photosynthesis happening, you release carbon dioxide, there is a tree which is taking it, it is giving oxygen. And environment is not in isolation. Water is not in isolation. All environmental factors are so closely interwoven that they form a delicate balance which is necessary to sustain life on this planet.
Yeah.
It is the human interference which is the cause for global warming, for floods, and lately for the epidemics also. And this we have to understand, that we need not interfere with nature. Nature is there to support us, help us grow, and not to destroy us. We are the ones who are destroying nature, and then once you disturb that natural balance, that is very delicate balance, then this is what is going to happen.
So, can you tell us, what are you planning to do next?
What am I planning to do next? See, I'm very excited by the next project which I am trying to take, and that project is related. I'll share that also with you. Normally, people do work and then they share it. I will share my dream also. This is Aravali Biodiversity Park.
Oh.
Can you see it?
Yes, yes.
And see, this is Municipal Corporation Gurgaon. They have signed a memorandum of understanding with Hero MotoCorp. Hero MotoCorp is associated with this conceptual designs and everything since the last 12 years.
Awesome.
For ecological restoration and conservation of the Aravali Biodiversity Park till 2031.
Wow.
And the Aravali Biodiversity Park is spread across 390 acres, massive area, and has semi-arid vegetation with around 300 native plants, 1 lakh trees, 43,000 shrubs, and 185 different types of birds.
Nice.
We have already had a preliminary meeting on the subject with the company officials, and I'm thinking and planning of how my team could contribute towards sustainable improvement in the water availability, along with a holistic plan to put in place to maintain and to protect key habitat and species at the biodiversity park. And I can tell you one thing: when we pick up this work and when we do water conservation here, and since I told you we recharge from the surface, the color of the trees will change, the thickness of the leaves will change, the grass will be green, and the water table is going to improve. That is my dream, and I see no reason why we should not be successful, because we have always been successful in our endeavors. So this is exactly what I'm looking forward to.
That sounds so exciting. So exciting.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, so do you have any message or advice that you would like to give, a young entrepreneurs of India or any innovator who's starting?
I am myself an entrepreneur. You can classify me as an innovator also. And I will tell you a very small story. When I was 5-6 years old, maybe 6-7 years old, one of my aunt, she on my birthday gave me a chessboard. And she knew how to play chess, and she taught me the basic moves, how the pawn moves and how the knight moves. And thereafter, whoever was coming to my house, elderly people, I was giving them challenge. Some of them were deliberately losing. Make the kid happy. I said, no, you are blacklisted. I will not play with you anymore. Some were actually, and they were, most of them, in fact, all of them, they were defeating me. And in chess, all you do is push your chair, get up and say, I resign.
Okay.
What was my method of saying I resign? I used to knock off all the pieces and then reorganize the entire chessboard. The pieces of the other opponent also I organized. Let us play again.
Wow.
Because I did not like that idea of losing, but I wanted to win. So that time, why I told you this was that an entrepreneur basically is world over in every dictionary. The Meaning of the word entrepreneur is the person who has the capacity to take risk.
Yeah.
And risk only has two options. Either you fail or you succeed.
Yeah.
Everybody does not become a doctor. Everybody does not become a musician. Everybody is not a painter. So everybody is different. A person has to understand his own personality, whether he has the capacity to take risk. Because an entrepreneur, when he takes risk and he loses, that gives him additional energy to hit back harder and try again.
Absolutely.
If you do not have that capacity, and if you are the person who after one failure will have a nervous breakdown, do not go for it. So I would advise people to analyze their own personalities and then decide. And then for innovators, the target should be the challenge. Like for me, why the earth is not taking water. Nobody was giving me awards for it. Nobody was giving me money. In fact, I was losing money. I was spending my own money on all these experiments. The money I earned from my businesses, I was spending in the fields for nothing. Bringing in machines, nobody is going to say you are doing an experiment, okay, we'll help you free of cost.
Yeah.
Whether it is labor or it is equipment or whatever it may be. So you do not have those aims in mind, then you are an innovator who has the focus on the problem and you try to think about a solution. I go for morning, evening walks. I don't walk in a group. I walk alone. I like to talk to myself. I like to think of lot many things. While you're walking with people and gossiping, then it's a different. So that is my advice to people, to recognize themselves and then move accordingly.
Do you have any, concluding advice for our viewers?
I have no advice, in fact. With folded hands, I have a request to make. Look at India. Geographically, our location, population-wise, we are sitting in a situation where our water table is declining.
Yes.
It is very, very necessary that all of us join hands and all of us get into the business of ensuring that our water table doesn't go down to zero levels.
Yes.
Or else we are going to have such a miserable time. It will be a nightmare. And people are not realizing, they are not serious about it, and we are already late for the work. So it is a very humble request that it is time for all of us to wake up and ensure, at least so that there is water availability for us and for our next generation.
Yes.
We cannot recklessly keep on drawing water, bringing the water levels down. What are our children and grandchildren going to do?
True, very true.
So this is, and if this message can go, I have tried to see, there is one very basic thing, that rainwater harvesting varies, the structure varies from location to location. It is not a standard medical tablet which you can give to all persons with the same problem.
Yes.
And strata changes. In all my work, I have never come across the same strata. It is so different as you go down. The color changes, the water intake, absorption capacity changes, everything changes. Somewhere you have sand, somewhere you have hard rock. And what I have done, or what I feel is my achievement, I have been able to, by removing those deterrents, develop a design which is applicable practically everywhere with minor modifications as per individual sites, for which the person doing the work has to use his vision. People don't do experiments, they don't work hard, they don't try to understand, they try to, If you have the tendency to make money on everything you do, then this is not the kind of work for such people. This needs a lot of imagination, needs a lot of passion. And I keep telling people as a joke that if you want to do this work, you should have other businesses to sustain your family and your expenditures.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Okay, thank you so much for coming on this platform, and thank you so much, for sharing your thoughts and your journey and experience with rainwater harvesting and how important it is to conserve and the need of the hour. So thank you so much for your experience and your expertise on this topic. I wish you best of luck for your upcoming project and seeing many more amazing innovations from your side. Thank you so much for your time.
thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.